SFJ 4x4 Studios presents
in my oversized four-wheel drive Jeep.
a Jeep podcast starring industry experts.
Pure monosity. What? Say that again.
With mad scientist Scott Brown,
Use my drill press as a sort of lathe.
our host Neil Simpson,
If one light goes out, they all go out.
filled with shenanigans.
We are really professional with Jeeps.
This is I Speak Jeep. Good morning, Jeep family. As you can see, I'm not Neil.
Neil's missing.
Neil's missing today. So the show must go on, and I'm filling in. I'm Jeff Shermani, the producer of the show, I Speak Jeep.
Yep.
And
And mad scientist Scott Brown / helping host today.
yeah, this is going to be interesting, folks. I apologize in advance.
We're sorry.
We're very sorry that you don't have Neil here to entertain you. But
I already gave Jeff crap that his hat's not cool enough for this show.
yeah. But you know the hat's actually from Jasper, Jasper Engines and Transmissions, and we'll talk about them a little bit today as our product spotlight. Hashtag not sponsored. Then we're going to talk about Easter Jeep Safari that's coming up. Got another teaser from Jeep that we can look at and try to decrypt what they're going to be releasing or concepting. Market pricing is increasing across the board. We'll talk about that a little bit and how it affects this market. And then Jeep names. I know everybody wants to hear about Jeep names and what's in a Jeep name. Many of our viewers and listeners have submitted their photos and names, so we'll talk about that a little bit today. Otherwise,
So what did you do over the weekend?
I redid the whole studio. I spent all of Sunday here at the shop redoing the studio, setting up another display. We've actually got 3 full displays now. A new computer set up.
Well, we had a new computer set up.
New computer decided it didn't want to cooperate this morning, so
They wanted to go find Neil.
but we still have 3 monitors. We have 3 displays. Makes it a little bit easier. You can kind of look over any direction, and you're
Yeah.
looking at a display monitor. It helps keep it focused. Somehow, I ended up being on camera this time and looking at the displays with you. I prefer my little corner off to the side, out of the spotlights. Geez, these lights are bright. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
But other than that, you know, I redid that. That was pretty much my weekend. I mean, I know you did some fun stuff.
I did do some fun stuff over the weekend. I went and helped a friend with some project on Saturday, and then on Sunday, me and my family went to the Power Piston show up at the IX Center. It was a good time. Kind of back from COVID stuff, and got to see lots of cool cars. They had all the spots filled, and I did not know they had a basement. There was actually cars in the basement, so that was pretty cool. And because it was Sunday, it wasn't quite as crowded as it was. I guess Saturday was nuts, like the wall-to-wall people. So Sunday was much better. I got to see quite a few of my friends up there, and it was very, very cool. And then I rounded out the night talking to a friend on flatheads and stuff. So that was really cool as well. So that was my weekend.
So what exactly is that event?
So that is, it's at the IX Center up by Cleveland, specifically the airport, and it is anything with a piston can attend. So we had boats, muscle cars, classic cars, newer cars, motorcycles, semi trucks, you name it. It was there. Even some bicycles, and my wife pointed out, like, those don't have pistons. I'm like, you're right, but they're still here. So it was really cool. In the middle of the show, they had a Model A club. And you imagine stock old Model A's, that is all like 65 to like 90 years old. Across the aisle was Supras, Nissan 240Zs, that kind of stuff, like our generation of cars. So they're like staring at each other across the aisle, like darn kids and their darn cars. It was just really like, of all the places, there were some celebrities there. Farm Truck, an Asian from I can't remember the show now, but it's a drag racing show on TV. They were there, and Jeff Lutz, which is a drag racer that's been on that show too, was there signing autographs. I don't do fast stuff, so I did not partake in that.
No?
No. I was not quite as starstruck as most.
What about your kids? What was their favorite thing there?
Well, one of the things they liked the most was they got to sit in a outlaw car in the basement. Everybody just loves, kids getting involved with that kind of stuff. So they both got to sit in both cars and get pictures taken. And obviously they love monster trucks and stuff like that. So that was pretty much their favorite. My daughter was very sad that the Ferris wheel was still not working.
Oh.
Or running. I don't know if that's still from COVID or not, but she was so fixated on this giant wheel in the middle of the thing, and then we didn't get to do it, so she was sad.
Yeah, I could see that.
So,
well, let's talk about Easter Jeep Safari, because that's coming up April 9th, I think it starts, and runs through the 17th. It's a 9-day event, and Jeep, as always, goes and presents. They have different concept vehicles. Whether or not those actually become market vehicles, that's a different story. But they're really cool concepts. This year's, they've released a series of teasers. Teaser is up on the screen there. Sorry, it's off to the side there. So this teaser, it looks like it says Magneto 2.0.
Yep. I would say you are correct.
So that makes me question, how are they one-upping last year's Magneto? I mean, that was a fully electric with a stick.
Yeah. I think they're really wanting us to second guess this one. Because at this point we've had, something we thought was a 392, then it wasn't. And it's always sort of the same thing. So we don't know if this is like each Jeep they're releasing or if this is yet the same one.
No, so apparently there's 5 different Jeeps coming this year.
Well, they usually do about that number.
And this is supposed to be, each one is supposed to be a separate teaser.
Oh, okay.
So
we're going to have drive stuff and V8 UG power at the same event.
I'm thinking one of them's going to be a Hellcat.
I'm betting as well. My bet is that it's going to be a 392 Gladiator.
Yeah, I would agree.
Make everybody happy.
Here's the other concept teaser that we missed out on, and this was from last week. And this one's looks like there's a rack on it, but it kind of looks like a Wrangler platform still, not the Gladiator platform. Yeah,
if I had to guess, that's a 4-door turned into a 2-door with more capacity in the back.
I would agree.
So that's pretty cool.
Be excited to see, and for those of you listening, if any of you are at Moab for Easter Jeep Safari and get some pictures of those, please send them our way. We'd love to see it.
Yep.
We'd love to see pictures from Moab and the different obstacles that you may tackle out there.
Yep. I know we touched on it a little bit before. I saw that the Dirt Every Day with the Willys MB, or actually it's not an MB, it's a GPW, did make it to their destination yesterday.
Did they?
Yes.
That was a long trip.
That was a long trip in a very stock 40s Jeep.
Yeah.
Only one engine replacement. That's pretty good. So that's exciting.
And the other thing too, this weekend was Southington.
Yep.
I don't think anyone from our trail team went.
Kevin did.
Okay, Kevin did go.
Yep.
I did see Joe Brilla was there with a
4xe.
The 4xe, yep. And the Hydra Blue, so Blue Jeep Crew if you're listening.
Yep.
He took the 4xe there. He got it high centered at one point.
Yep.
But he went completely stock.
Yep. And you can do that.
And he said he wanted to take it easy because he's got to drive to Utah coming up.
Yep.
So let's see, what else do we got? We got the pricing is going up everywhere.
Everybody has been complaining about that, and it's just kind of causing the effect. If it goes up over there, it's going to go up there and here, and it's just sadly a state of what happens to happen. Everything kind of to recenter on that new price point. So
I mean, for the last 2 weeks, the inbox here at SFJ has just been dinging like crazy with all the different manufacturers saying, hey, here's our new price increase. Hey, we've held off as long as we can. We have to increase our prices.
Yep.
So everybody's prices are going up. It is impacting our market directly.
Yep.
So I believe starting this month, most of those new prices are taking effect.
I don't know that it's going up a lot, but it definitely is going to be different than what you were used to.
Yeah.
So.
And product availability is still a challenge too.
Yeah, it's been that way all along. We still don't take no for an answer here, but it's been very challenging to try to find stuff, especially in my little CJ corner back here, trying to find things. And we've been on a lot of waiting lists for parts, very specific special parts that you kind of don't have a choice. So
for those of you that don't know, our shop is set up with about 6 or 7 CJs currently in the back corner, all in one corner of the shop.
Yep.
And that's Scott's department. So
Yes.
he's been very busy with CJs and resto work. And in fact, we're booked through next year with restorations at this point.
Yep.
So that's also pretty cool and exciting.
Yes, it is.
Let's talk about Jeep names a little bit here. What's in a Jeep name? Does your Jeep have a name? Let's talk names. Problem Child. Chuck Norris. Hell on Wheels. The Angry Turtle. Bankrupticon. Money Pit. Enigma. Motley Blue. Neytiri. Old Glory. Woohoo. Lady Di. Blue Thunder. Wilton. Annabelle. Tetris. Daddy Jeep. Sea Seeker. And Oscar. So I gotta say, I much enjoy doing the transitions when I'm off camera and I get to watch your guys' reactions to them.
Yep.
It's a little bit different when I already know what the transition is.
Yep.
So this is just going to be a slideshow of the different Jeep names, their stories. We're probably not going to go into detail on all the stories, but I'll leave them up on screen as we talk about them so that if you wanted to watch it on YouTube later, you could go back and read the full story. But like this one here, this is Motley Blue, submitted by Jamie Myers. I was just going to go with Blue from that movie Will Ferrell. And one night they were watching Dirt. Husband said Motley Blue, and that's an 80s rock music band, and that became the name of the Jeep.
That's pretty cool.
So I lost the cursor. There it is. There's a full image of it.
Yep.
This is bad. We should have Neil here. This is
Yeah.
I should not be on camera.
Uh-huh.
So Lady
It's
Di.
all Jeff's fault.
Lady Di is actually a customer of ours. We get this Jeep in quite often, do a little bit of work on it.
Yep.
She did not tell me how she came up with that name, but we'll just move on.
Yeah.
Blue Thunder. Again, big shout out to Blue Jeep crew because they really stepped up. You're going to see a lot of blue Jeeps in this.
Yeah.
I know you're sad because it's not green.
Yes.
This is Blue Thunder, pretty decked out Gladiator.
An eco diesel.
What's that?
It's an eco diesel.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. They've done a lot with this. They did the detailing on the side. It's a airbrush, I think. Yeah, airbrush versus the wraps that you constantly see.
That's awesome.
So really cool rig. Annabelle, as the owner Nona put it, well known here at SFJ 4x4. We've done a lot of work on Annabelle.
Yep.
Another really cool Jeep. Let's see.
Yeah, this Jeep was actually a present for their anniversary.
Yeah.
And they bought it in Florida, drove it up, and then it scared her, and we fixed it, so now it's not scaring her anymore.
Well, and Annabelle's from the famous Roy Rogers Jeep.
Oh.
So that's how they
That
came up
makes
with
sense.
that. Yep. So there's some more pictures of it. She sent quite the collection of photos. Really cool stuff, though.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a very nice rig. Neytiri, which
I'm glad you said that because I'm not even going to try.
I know I was supposed to have you say it.
Nope.
Oh, look at that! I spelled it wrong too. I'm
Darn
sorry.
it, Jeff.
I'm sorry to Michelle Lane for spelling your Jeep name wrong. I forgot the E.
Boy.
But this was a 30-year dream come true. So Neytiri is a goddess of war, but also from Avatar.
Oh.
The
Which most of them are blue.
yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
Yes, it does.
The Angry Turtle.
Oh, we could say so much about the Angry Turtle.
Yeah. So Jason submitted this photo and name and just left it at that. Said that we named it. Apparently,
We did.
I don't know the story behind that. Maybe you do.
So Jason bought this Jeep new, and from the start, it has not gone quietly. It has had all the attention from Jeep and us at this point. Lots of little gremlins and stuff. And obviously it's green, so turtle comes to mind, and it's always angry. As we go through that, it's on this point on 37s, and Jason uses the Jeep as it was sold to do. At some point, there may or may not have been a plant growing in the carpet of the Jeep.
What?
Yeah. And he doesn't clean it often. We've actually cleaned it more here than he has, I think. So we filled a lot of holes in the parking lot from mud and stuff out from underneath that one on the skid plates.
Oh, jeez.
So, yeah.
At least we know he's using it.
He is.
This one's Tetris. This is kind of a sad story, actually. This owner, Sky, her brother took his life in May, left her a little bit of money, and so that's how she bought Tetris. As you can see, she's put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, looks good.
She actually keeps an urn of her brother's ashes in the dash of the Jeep.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so that's really cool. Takes him wheeling with her.
Yep.
So that's a cool story. Hell on Wheels. Obviously, we know this Jeep. This is good old Chuck. But I didn't know that it was from when he served in the Army, the 2nd Armored Division. That was actually the name of the division. So he has a patch that actually says that. So that's really cool,
That
too.
is really cool. And thank you for your service.
Yes, thank you. This name's funny. I'll let you say this one.
Woohoo!
So this is from Cindy, and she came up with the name because she just loves riding it through the trails and through water.
And going woohoo.
Yes. So very fitting.
I don't blame her.
This is Wilton, and Wilton was submitted by Tony, and is actually a play on their two names, his wife and his. So, so that's how they came up with that.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and it's green, so you like it.
Yeah, appreciate green Jeeps.
Old Glory.
Obviously.
There's no better name for this Jeep.
There's a slight theme with this Jeep, just a little bit.
It's actually I think Neil would love this one.
Oh, he would.
This would be his favorite one
Yes,
right now.
probably.
And it's really cool. It's honoring the veterans, the nation. It's a very heavy red, white, and blue theme. It's really cool. And this was submitted by Clyde. Daddy Jeep. So Daddy Jeep actually has their own YouTube channel, Daddy Jeep Garage. And this one's really cool story because he came up with this name 22 years ago.
Okay.
His son was, I'm sorry, his son is now 22 years, so it's probably a little less than 22 years ago.
Yep.
But his son would hear the Jeep coming home and yell, "Daddy Jeep."
That's awesome.
So that's kind of what stuck, and that's how it became.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, if you're listening, go check out Daddy Jeep Garage on YouTube. He's got some pretty cool videos up there.
Yep.
Seaseeker. This is from Ellen and another Blue Jeep crew member, of course. So this one's cool too because she loves the beach. She came across this poem called Seaseeker. I'm not going to take the time to read the poem to you right now, but again, if you watch our YouTube channel, it'll be up on the screen. You can pause it and read through it. It's a really cool poem, and it really does speak to the soul of the love for the beach, the love for Jeeps, just everything.
That's awesome.
So Gone Jeepin', they submitted a novel, and it is really cool. Their Jeep is called Problem Child. I'm just going to summarize this.
Yep.
They went looking for a Ford, but then came across this Jeep on the lot, and she absolutely fell in love with it, said, "We are leaving with that Jeep." They left with that Jeep. They didn't make it very far. Multiple issues. Ended up having to do, they had the death wobble right away as they left the dealership. Then they had axles that were just completely blown apart lots of issues.
Yeah.
But this is a picture of the Jeep.
Cleans up well.
It does clean up well. They've done a lot with it, and Gone Jeepin' has their own show as well. Their dog. They submitted a picture of their dog wearing goggles. This is their Jeep dog Brody, and I mean those goggles just look so familiar, don't they?
I have no idea where they got those.
I don't know, but I think they look. Oh, that's why they look just like yours, Scott.
Oh boy.
Enigma is my Jeep.
This is right before he gets it stuck.
Yeah. It is. Is this the side I got it stuck on, or is this the opposite side?
It might be the opposite side.
I think that's the other side. But
good poser shot there.
Yeah, it was. So my Jeep name, when I bought this, I really wanted to do a Jurassic Park theme. I was gonna go all out, have it wrapped and everything, and then I realized it is really hard to find Jurassic Park themed decals.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I was surprised how hard it was.
Yep.
And I'm like, well, maybe I'm not going to go with that. And then I was debating for a while, and Jeeps name themselves. They always do. And somewhere, someone was asking me what that is. They're like, is that a Jeep? Is it a truck? I said, well, it's not really a Jeep or a truck, but it's both at the same time. It's kind of an enigma.
There it is.
That stuck. It just became the name, and that's what it is. And we got Oscar here.
Yep, that's my Jeep. And yes, the Jeep is a girl, and I named it Oscar, and that's weird, and I'm sorry. My dad was always known as the grumpy old man, and Oscar the Grouch on Sesame Street.
What?
Talk today. Anyways, on Sesame Street, was always part of it, and was always there for things, but was always kind of grumpy, and kind of a heart to my dad. Yes, the Jeep's green. I guess I can be somewhat grumpy sometimes too, to take on the carrying on the flag for my dad, but that's kind of why it's Oscar.
Well, then we got Chuck Norris. This is Neil's Jeep.
Yep.
Unfortunately, he's not here to tell his story.
Yeah, but I mean, anybody that knows Neil knows that he doesn't do anything small. We've been picking on him about it for years. He was one of the first XJs I knew on 35s. He inappropriately stuck 35s on almost stock YJ. This is on 40s when it really should be on 37s. That's just his nature. So
go big or go home.
Go big or go home, and everybody kind of grew up, with bad. I can't say the word, but you know what I mean. So that's what Chuck Norris is.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very capable rig. Yep. IRO long arm, right?
Yep, IRO long arm. It's got tons. It's got a 14 in the back and a 60 up front from an 80s Ford. Drivetrain's basically stock. We've stretched it front and rear a little bit, and it's got a Rusty's tire carrier on the back. And he's all set up for his 8274 Warren front, and he's going with a CJ theme. That's why it's got the CJ parking lights, high-lined hood and stuff. So it's definitely a cool rig, and I think he's really close to getting it where he wants it to be.
Yeah. All right, so then the final one. This is Ray Norris. That savage Davey Thompson.
Yes.
He really wanted Neil to be here for this.
Uh-huh.
He definitely named his Trailblazer.
Yeah.
The dad of Chuck Norris.
Oh boy.
Ray Norris.
Oh boy.
He felt left out. He doesn't have a Jeep, and he wanted to get his name in on that real quick.
Uh-huh.
So that's that.
I feel like I have to apologize. We just put a Trailblazer up.
Yeah. Yeah, we really got to get him a Jeep.
Yes.
Let's do a quick commercial break here.
Hey, Jeep family, we hope that you're enjoying this content, and we want to make sure that you head over to sfj4x4.com, find some of this cool merchandise, give us a call at our facility, 440-813-3663.
Option 1.
Option 1. And make sure that you tune in to our live podcast every Monday at 10:19 a.m. and check out our updates on YouTube on Tuesdays and Fridays. Until then, Jeep on.
Okay, and we're back. So during that commercial break, I looked at how much time we've been on,
and he panicked.
I'm like, we've got a lot of time left.
This is what happens when Neil doesn't talk for 5 minutes.
Right? Neil's really good at just talking.
Yes.
He goes on and on and on.
Me and Jeff are more observers. We
Yeah.
just kind of listen and take in things.
Yep.
Men of a few words.
I mean, I definitely like to talk, but I can't go on and on like Neil can. Jeez. This is, yeah.
There was that bus.
Yeah. So I guess we'll go into our not sponsored segment.
And now it's time for our product spotlight.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Spotlight.
Hashtag not sponsored. So
So today we're going to talk about Jasper engine rebuilding and transmission rebuilding and diff rebuilding. And they have been in business for 80 years. Started in 1942. And a real cool story of that is the owner, which I'm going to read so I don't completely ruin it here, Alvin C. Ruxer. Let's leave that.
Let me see that.
Yeah, you proofread. He had
Ruxer, yeah.
had a Ford dealership, which I think is really cool because this is when my car would have been in the dealerships as a used car, and where it was very good. Dealership was selling lots of vehicles, and then World War II happened, and younger generation that don't know, you could not get things. You could not get rubber, you could not get steel. The auto manufacturers literally shut down and stopped producing cars and built tanks and guns and planes and that kind of stuff for the war effort. So suddenly you have a car dealership with no cars to sell. And you probably couldn't even get parts to maintain the cars, would be my guess. So, or that was a struggle, probably similar to what we're dealing with now. And so the other part of this is you had to make your cars.
I don't think it's quite similar yet.
Well,
I hope not.
I hope not. Anyway, this is when people would have to, take that old jalopy and put a new engine in it and breathe new life into it. So he, in the wash bay of his dealership, decided to start rebuilding engines and transmissions and stuff. And that took off. And here we are 80 years later, from 1942 to now.
I think as we were reading up on them a little bit, one of my favorite things is that they are 100% associate owned.
Yep.
And they have over 2,300 employees.
Yep.
And 50 branch and distributor locations. So to me, that's amazing. That's a testament to the company that they actually are literally associate owned, 100%. That just means a lot as a business. Your employees are going to be more invested. So that's a really cool story.
It's something I can appreciate. They are very picky with their process, what parts they use, how they go about rebuilding a component. And because of that, they back it with a 3-year, 100,000-mile warranty on all their engines, transmissions, and differentials. And I, in the industry, have used a lot of their products. They come in really cool crates, all set up, ready to go. Like the rear axles clearly come with oil for you to use. Sometimes transmissions do as well. And the torque converters are filled on the transmissions and installed. So it kind of takes all the guesswork out of it. And that they do that just because of their warranty. Then you take your old one, put it in their box. Obviously drain it of fluids first. There's literally, now they've gone as far as you just scan it with your phone on a QR code and it sets up the truck to come get the crate, which is really cool.
And they just delivered a transmission to us, and the crate that it came in, it has their logo on it. The transmission's wrapped in plastic, like you said. It's got the QR code to scan it right on top.
Yep.
I mean, it is very professional, very clean.
Yep.
It was just a really neat experience. And then they brought in all these hats. I mean, they gave us a bunch of hats, and I'm like, I'll take one of those hats.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we actually got quite a few things in the works with them. We've been waiting on engines for a while. on a few jobs, and
well, they weren't even making the engines for us.
They weren't even. Well, they didn't have products to be able to do that, and they just finally was able to get some stock of some parts.
Yep.
And so we have a 3.8 transmission that goes behind that, plus this 42 RLE for the Scott Lindquist personal Jeep in the house that's going to go in soon. And that's honestly after having rebuild other places and having issues. And we always try out things on ourselves first. And we had to pivot. And I knew from my prior experience that Jasper was a great company to deal with. So here we are.
Yeah, and they just keep getting more and more professional.
Yes.
You know, one of the things that I thought was really cool, and I'm going to talk about it, is on their website, jasperengines.com, they actually have a tab that says Our Flag.
Yep.
And, you know, we kind of joked at first, like, oh, they have their own flag, like their own country. No, it's talking about the American flag.
Yep.
They are very proud to say that they have two of the largest flags flying in the U.S. They fly a 30 by 50 foot flag weighing 78 pounds, and then a smaller 40-pound flag measuring 20 by 38 feet. And they use during winter and spring. And then that is at the Jasper facility. And then the Willow Springs facility flies a 20 by 38 foot flag year round. So, and that's on an 80-foot tall pole.
Seamless extruded aluminum.
Yeah, they talk about, they go into detail about how the flag's made, when they fly it, how they
put the pole 9 foot in the ground so it could withstand winds up to 90 miles an hour.
I mean,
they're serious about this, folks.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're kind of in that tornado area.
Yeah.
They have to be.
Yeah. So who's on tornado watch duty so they can go take the flag down
Right?
for when it exceeds 90?
They need a team for that size flag. They absolutely need a team. You can't take that flag down by yourself.
Right? Like, you should be in the shelter. No, we got to take down the flag.
We need 10 guys. Let's go.
Go, team.
We can't let that flag touch the ground. We got to fold it still.
And the part of that is really cool, all joking aside. On the transmission that we just received, it says remade in the USA. They are very proud to be a USA manufacturer and rebuilder.
I mean, absolutely. And I love the fact that they even on the hats, they have the American flag right on the front of the hat. So
Yep.
that's why I was like, yeah, I'll take that.
Yep.
So it's really cool company. Awesome benefits. They have great warranties. Overall, if you're in need of an engine or transmission, check them out. They do axles. What is that list of things they do here? It's ridiculous how much they do. They do. It's not. I have the website up and it's not loading anything. I apologize, folks.
Technical difficulties. So I know they do, at minimum, they do engines, transmissions, and axles.
Gas and diesel engines, transmissions, differentials, rear axle assemblies, air and fuel components, marine engines, stern drives, performance engines, and electric motors.
There you have it.
So, quite the list.
Yep.
All right. We need Neil to vamp more. Like, this is crazy how much time we have left.
So we have some exciting news coming in the shop. The M38 project we've been working on. The engine's been off at the engine shop getting rebuilt, and it was actually almost too far gone to save. It was bored out 80 thousandths, which is a lot. And they actually, you know, one of the things I really enjoy about this custom shop we deal with is they don't take no for an answer. And most shops would have been like, sorry, your block's overboard. It needs some more touch up. It's past the point. But this knew that the owner wanted to keep the original engine in the Jeep. So they found a race car piston coating company to coat the 4-cylinder pistons.
So that's like a paint almost, right?
It's sort of a paint, sort of a powder coat process, way I was explained to me. And it goes on the piston and actually makes the piston slightly larger. So they were able to hone the bores, clean them up, put the coating on the pistons to then clean up that.
And what they were showing us is it literally wears its own pattern in.
Yes.
As it runs.
Yes. And surprisingly, you would think like, oh my God, this is going to be really expensive. No, it was actually very, very reasonable, and they were able to save this engine, from 1952 to be better shape than I dare say it's been in probably 30 plus years. And it is actually done and ready for us to bring back to the shop here. So we'll be posting pictures of that up on our.
Now that one
updates.
wasn't through Jasper. This was actually a local engine company for us that did that.
Yep. Yeah. I imagine Jasper would do something like that though, because I was actually talking to a friend, and the flathead in his 34 Ford truck originated from Jasper.
Oh,
I was like, really?
yeah. I mean, it's definitely possible. I mean,
Yeah.
we were having issues with Jasper having parts available
Yeah.
at the time, and that's why
It
we
changed
went with this
in
other.
like and then within a month it changed. And these older motors, like my flathead, is actually at this shop as well. So one of the cool parts is we can get you handled with rebuild engines. That's the biggest takeaway from that is even when they're really weird and hard to find parts for, we can get it handled for you.
Yeah, our current challenge, we had a 2.4 that we had to have rebuilt, and the valve cover is cracked, and that is challenging.
If you have a blown up 2.4 and you would like to donate your valve cover to us, we would greatly appreciate it.
I mean, if it's in excellent condition and we could talk price even, we're looking to buy one.
We're looking to buy one. It's very hard to find those parts for.
Yes.
This shop, actually, Jasper was able to rebuild them, and then they had a valve issue with the 2.4 specifically, and that supplier was not in stock for a very, very long time, almost a full year. And that we ended up going with this other shop to get that one rebuilt more in the custom. Again, they find solutions to the problems. And I don't disrespect Jasper for wanting to stick to their process. That's how they stick to their 3-year, 100,000-mile process.
Absolutely.
Of warranty. And no harm, no foul there. So.
All right. So we got through basically everything I had planned for today, except for the game. And
just really not wanting to do this game.
I really set the game up for you and Neil.
Uh-huh.
So we can either save the game for next week and let you guys do it.
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
Poor Jeff.
Well, the big thing is I need Davey to write down 10 random words for us really quick. Yeah.
Just yell out random words.
No, we're not doing Pictionary today, Davey. That's going to be when we can actually challenge these guys. So, Davey off camera here, he actually came up with the idea of doing a Pictionary challenge, and he wanted to pit you versus Neil. And I said, "How's that work? That there'd be a team, so there'd have to be a challenge, and somehow that involved me and Davey challenging you and Neil." And I don't know that that's a good idea. I feel like we're gonna lose. But Davey's all gung ho about this, so we're gonna try that in a future episode.
Oh boy, throw down with the savage.
Well, what's entertaining is he provided me a list of movie titles, and I'm going through the list. I'm like, all right, maybe we might be able to do this. And Davey's like, I think I've seen like 6 of those movies. I'm like, Davey, I haven't.
You don't have to crash course, Davey.
Right. There wasn't 6 movies on there that I hadn't seen, and it was like a list of 100 movies.
Yep.
So
we're gonna give Davey time to get all those movies in and watch them.
That or pick a different category. 'Cause that's not good. He crossed off the
Why
ones
is there
he
so
didn't
much
know.
red on this paper?
Holy cow! Yeah, he did.
Why is the paper blatant, Davey?
Wait, you know The Sandlot? He's shaking his head over there, folks.
He doesn't know Groundhog Day, Davey.
That's
like
that's a classic.
That's a classic. I mean, at least he knows what Star Wars is. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mighty Joe Young, Davey.
You know what though?
That's a staple.
That would be a hard one to draw because what would you do? You draw an ape, but then everybody would go King Kong.
Yeah. Still.
How would you get that title? That would be tough.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. You don't know that movie?
Okay.
Davey's got us a list.
What we're gonna do is we're You're going to slide it down to see the first word.
Okay.
I have to try to guess.
This is what improv is, folks.
Yes. So this is. Hang on. I got to switch it to the. Now, because of our technical issues, I don't have that loaded for the transition today. So no transition for the game. I'm sorry, folks. I failed. But
those that don't know, the computer basically told us, no, I'm not working today.
it was working great. And then we hooked up Davey's camera, and it just like, hey, I need to restart, and then it never came back.
It never came back.
So, yeah.
It's in timeout right now.
We're on the backup computer.
I blamed Apple.
Luckily, I came prepared because I'm used to technical issues happening and always have a contingency plan. But
well, why don't you tell us the premise of this game so then I know what the heck I'm doing.
So it's a short story challenge. Basically, what's going to happen is we're going to take turns saying 3 words at a time to tell a story. It's going to be a completely made-up story.
Okay.
The object is we're going to take turns with this mystery word that he gave us.
Okay.
You'll know what the word is for the first round, and you have to steer the story in a way that gets me to say what that word is.
How many times?
Until you get me to say the word.
Oh, okay.
And then after I get the word correct, you'll say, all right, that was the word, and then...
This is going to go too fast, I have a feeling.
I hope so. But some of these words, I mean, it might be hard to steer a conversation.
Okay.
So then, the next turn, though, I would know the word and you wouldn't, and I'd have to try to get you to guess the word.
Okay.
So maybe while we're doing this, Davey, if you want to make a separate list for me so that way we don't mess up and see the same words. But, all right, go ahead, start us off, Scott.
At the park, you slide...
3 words.
At the park.
You slide down.
Yes, that's the word slide.
Slide? That was easy.
I know.
That was way too easy.
I said so. I was the problem. So I'm just gonna go to the second word.
Yeah, that's fine.
If you're really upset.
No, 3 words. 3 words. You can do this, Scott. You just said you don't like to talk. This should be easy for you.
If you're upset.
You run away.
You say you're having.
That's 4 words. You got to learn how to do 3 words, Scott. 3 words.
I apologize for how bad this podcast is. So
nobody's commented anything either.
No,
it's quiet today.
It is. They're all asleep.
So, what
can we say? Pass. Like on the real.
I don't know. Did you get me a couple words yet? We don't need 10. Just a couple random ones just to get us going. Okay. So,
3 words, Jeff.
When you're sad.
Boy.
Oh, there's Amy saying good morning. Thank you. That was 3 words too, Scott. Look at that. 3 words.
Where was it doing again?
Oh, there's Scott. Happy 4x4 day.
We
missed out on that. Oh, look at that, Scott.
Fail. So much fail.
Susan goes, no, we are awake and watching. I appreciate
sorry.
that. I really appreciate that. I'm sorry that you're still awake because I would have wanted been sleeping by now too. This game's not going well, guys.
No, it isn't.
All right, let's try that again. I'm gonna choose one of these words that Davey gave me and just go with that.
I thought that's what you did already.
I tried with the top one and that's not an easy one.
Blame Davey. It's all Davey's fault.
So
we shouldn't have to do
I
this
work with
Greg.
3 words.
Greg is mad.
And another guy.
Neil.
Who looks like.
Is it going to be the same word again? Looks like Neil.
No.
Jenny's laughing up there, losing it. I'm not good at
Who
this.
looks like you got to get 3 words.
Looks funny.
No. 3 words. 3 words.
Why are we doing this?
That's 4 words still. Okay, fine. The word was me. Who looks like me because you were just commenting this morning how on camera our beards similar in color.
Yes, we're twins.
Jeez. Yes. Yes, Scott. It is going straight in the bloopers. Scott Lindquist chiming in. It is 100% going straight in the bloopers.
Okay.
I do not belong on camera, folks. I should be off to the side in my corner, running the audio.
Okay, I got one.
Okay.
This podcast is
Straight up hilarious.
Nope.
Keep going.
When you are
Alone, you cry.
broke, you are
I think I'm poor.
yes. There it is. Okay.
Yeah, let's move on.
Train wreck.
This was not good. So anyways,
Why don't you tell us about how you got in the Jeeps? That's what we were supposed to do instead of this train wreck.
yeah,
of a game.
why did you steer us right into the game?
Why did you? I didn't do that.
I was trying to avoid it, and you're like, "Oh no, we're gonna do the game."
Yeah.
So anyways, I guess it is appropriate that I tell my story how I got into Jeeps, since you know we've gotten to hear from you and Neil with stories how you got involved in Jeeps. So mine's kind of funny, and it kind of explains why things break around me, I think. So anyways, I got into Jeeps. I think I was maybe 13 years old or so. I was riding in a yellow Wrangler with my uncle and my dad. We were heading over to my grandfather's house. My uncle was driving. It was his Wrangler. And I was already pretty excited about it. Thought it was pretty cool. It was a soft top that was barely on, of course, just falling apart.
Yep.
But it was stick shift, and he's driving, and the stick shift comes off in his hand. He's holding the shifter in his hand, going, "Oh no!"
Never happens with Jeeps.
Yeah. So I really don't remember
Anything
all the
after that?
details. I do remember we made it safely to my grandfather's house. Somehow
never-
he was able to get the shifter
Back in.
not completely, but enough that they could shift. Like my dad was holding onto it. It was a process. But from that moment on, I knew I wanted a Jeep, and I don't know why.
I really want something that breaks down all the time. This is my goal. That's what he was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, and it's also my life because everything breaks around me. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yes.
As we've experienced this morning with the computer. But
what I thought was really cute is Jeff led this morning. He was telling me the story before, and he's like, "Well, it was a 2-door." I was like, "Jeff, they were all 2-doors then."
And I went, "Oh yeah, it was." And then he goes, "Even when Davey was a kid, they were 2-doors." I said,
No.
not when Davey was around that age. No, they weren't.
No,
Davey's
'cause
young.
JK's been around a long time, folks.
Yeah,
I was not ready. Was not prepared.
But yeah, so I've owned a series of Jeeps through then. I've had the Liberty.
Well, you had a Dub J too.
I had a Dub J. I had the 19 Cherokee before I got the JT. So, I've had a series of Jeeps throughout my life. The Dub J was one of my favorites. I did some crazy stuff with that, of course, and it was the Laredo, but it was like the high end had the heated seats.
Yeah, all the cushy stuff.
All the cushy stuff,
Which is ironic because now Enigma has
Nothing.
no options.
Yes, no options.
Like you almost didn't want a radio.
Yeah. Yeah. So my wife just chimed in saying that I bought the Dream Jeep, and then the Grand Cherokee was her other favorite, but
Yep.
the Gladiator was her dream Jeep as well. So
Yeah.
she does want a Jeep eventually, but Jeeps are expensive. So
Yes.
what are you signaling up there for, Davey? Oh, I saw your hand go up over something. You're just playing with the camera.
Yeah.
Well, other than that, that's my story. That's why I got into Jeeps. And then, I was putting a lift kit on this Gladiator. Next thing I knew, I was working here.
Yep.
It just kind of happened.
Yep.
So
I always I joke around that I can in 5 minutes tell whether a person's good, bad, otherwise. Sometimes I get proven wrong. Something that my dad and I always used to joke around with. And when Jeff came in for his quote on his lift kit, I was like, no, that's a good guy. I could really already tell. So
there's a million people out there going, no, he's not. What are you saying?
He's at least workable. So and he's learning a lot. The good kudos to Jeff. Learning the ropes the hard way. And me and Greg have not been kind. We just threw him right in the deep end of the pool. No floaties.
You really haven't been like. Most places you go to like this, you would expect to be pranked and all the rookie stuff. The only thing that Greg's really done to me was the airline when he pinched off the airline and I couldn't figure out why the tool wasn't working.
That was pretty funny.
It kept dying on me. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, we haven't like saran wrapped your toolbox yet or any of those good ones.
No. My WJ's been saran wrapped though.
might be time.
No. Davey's a new guy, so we could pick on Davey.
Saran wrap his computer.
Yeah. So anyways, I think that's pretty much our show for the day, guys. Obviously, we appreciate everyone that's been listening. Our podcast rankings are continually going up.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. We just ended that. I'm sorry. But I promise Neil will be back, and it'll be good again.
We will find Neil. We will send the extra 12 minutes we have here to search out a search party for Neil and find out where he's sick.
Yeah, he just sent me this cryptic thing that says, ask about the Detroit show. You have to fill in today. The show must go on.
Yes.
And I'm like, what?
So I think we alluded to this on another thing. We probably burned 12 minutes for this story. And he sent me a message this morning. Remember the Detroit Autorama? I was like, which one? And that was it. And I think he's dead to the world after that. And so me, Greg, and Neil are in my little Subaru, as he called it. It was a Saab, but it was really a Subaru. And we're driving up the Michigan. I think it was when the JL was getting released, but I could be wrong. I don't remember details 100% great with that sort of stuff. But anyway, and he's in the back seat, and he doesn't do well in tight spaces to start with, so he was already giving us crap and whining about it. And I'm driving, Greg's in the passenger seat, and the next thing we know, he's like, pull over. I just kept driving. And Greg's like, I think he seriously wants you to pull over. So we pull over, and he opens the passenger door and loses his lunch right out of the side of the freeway. And I was like, oh, he was serious. So at this point, we're up around Toledo-ish area, and we're like, he starts looking at motels. I'm like, what are you doing? It's like, I can't make it, man. I'll find a spot, and we'll pull over, and I'll rent a hotel for the day and just kind of sleep this off, and you and Greg can go ahead. So he finds this like really decent looking hotel right by Toledo, but it's $100 a day. And he's cheap. So he found one up in Michigan. It was like,
at least it wasn't $100 an hour.
It was like $30
hotels like that
or
out there
$40 for the day.
Yeah.
To give you an idea where this is going. And we pull up to this hotel, and the van for the hotel has a flat tire, and it looks like it was vandalized recently.
Oh no! Oh no!
And there's certain people standing on certain places on the sidewalk around the hotel, and we push him out of the car, tell him good luck, and straight up leave him. And we continued on to have a great day. Eating steak and seeing the Ford Museum and the Autorama up there with all the new cars.
And very inappropriate links.
Yes, kept sending him pictures of all that and inappropriate things all day as he slept off his sickness. So I imagine that is what's going on. I actually don't know 100%. But
it was kind of like an Enigma code. Back to my Jeep name.
Yes. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Very cryptic this morning.
So that is your Neil update. He is off somewhere sick, probably cradling a bucket somewhere.
So anyways, guys, please go on, give us some ratings. 5-star, we appreciate it. I know this show was terrible, but next time we'll do better. Scott on here, good show. Scott Lindquist says, good show, guys.
Just being a flatterer.
Have Savage send some photos of the Jasper and save him a hat.
We got you.
So we got you, Scott. But thanks again for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week. Jeep on.
Jeep on.